Hey there, Taurus. This is Joy with Joy the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back in. If you are new, click that subscribe button down below. It is free as always, and as always, I'm happy to have you here sharing your beautiful energy with us, bringing in this joy train. What joy train? Not me. Our joy, all our joy to this world, to level the world up. Whose world? Your world, my world, the whole big world. And we'll be singing together, right? Hallelujah. The stank is gone. Now, I can tell you, Taurus, I was doing a little bit of a channel to get tuned into you before we started here. And it's kind of coming in as like, what have you got to prove? In that proving and feeling like having asked for others' help, trying to see different ways to get things done, and kind of, like pushing in, putting your weight into something, your shoulder into something, that kind of effort and determined mentality, but it's a titch beyond determination. And so that's where the snag and they're saying the throw up. Okay, the throw up seems to be because the power's in your permission. They're talking about rub your own belly. You, the genie that makes your wishes and dreams come true. It was showing up in the 9 of Cups for you, but there's also you pressing into that 10, wanting the full 10, the full reward, not just the reward of gaining the 10, but going the distance, finishing the race, that type of thing. Some closure for you, kind of like an accolade, no, award and reward, so that others could see what has been inside you all along. Your earth and sign, that makes perfect sense. So let me see what other notes we have here. I was talking about that do it self, the needing to prove it, is that little snag, that hindrance, is showing that there's part of you that is still nurturing some self-doubt, like almost needing to prove it to yourself. And so that energy is like a hook in a fish's mouth. It draws back and it takes you into the trap again, where really here it's the rubbing the belly, having to do with the satisfaction, the the ooh, the warming thyself up into it, the attitude and the unction coming up from within you and moving outward. Okay, that initiation, that waiting until you're ready to move, that kind of working with your delights, your desires. I mean, house of pleasure, of course, going from there into what delights you. Okay. And it says, so offer some love to the one you've been holding out on. No, the one you've been holding out on is you. Okay. You've gotten yourself kind of lonely, thinking that maybe some of you say, well, I'm going to do this 30-day challenge. After that 30-day challenge, like the reward is kind of in the punishment. The reward is kind of in the withholding. When then? Okay, I can see it clearly now. When then is a limited mentality. It's an either or, that type of thing. And so there isn't love in that. That's conditional. And that conditional is where the snag has you held up, because life is wanting to synergize its energy with you here and to bring in the fulfillment and the satisfaction, which only originates from life itself and our connection with it. Okay, our communion with it. And so life is going to go ahead and give to you and work step by step. It's just like tasting each bite of your food as you're enjoying the meal, instead of waiting till it's over to think, oh, that is good. They're wanting you to have the pleasure all along, knitting and weaving and stitching into every part of the fabric of life, so that there aren't any holes, gaps, that it is firm and established and substantial for you. Okay, Taurus, to hold the fullness of your being, the strength of your being. So they're talking about here, the ultimate victory is a double victory. So shine your light. When you show that love to yourself, when you afford yourself that love, that's kind of the thing, you begin to afford it to the world around you. That transformation within you affords the world around you to shine up, to glow up, and to be more forthcoming, forthgiving. We could call it forgiving, but when you're more generous towards yourself and kind with yourself, of allowing the process to move forward instead of demanding it, enforcing it, that type of thing, you shift that little bit of energy to let love flow in unconditionally. It will be enough of a flume of water to carry you along. Okay, you and all of your power. So here's our affirmation that we're coming to, and it says, I am victorious, coming and going. Okay, that's establishing both directions, the relationship, the connection, the commitment, the communion, thus the fullness of the reward, the return of the energy. So no longer do you have to have that doubt, is what you put out going to come back to you. when you are fully connected, what goes out like a boomerang will return unto you, but it will return unto you with reward, with promises fulfilled, because it is love. That's why we follow the new era of plasma here, not air, because air is simply a promise. Plasma is love. It is a promise fulfilled. Okay. Let me see what other notes you had going on, because you had a few little lanyards to toss in on there. You're talking about beauty and the boss. So when you get rid of that self-doubt, you step into the beauty and the boss. Man or woman here, beauty is being the same on the inside as the outside. That is the fullness of the return. That what we feel inside of us, we come into connection with love, with life itself. Love is the vibration of life itself. And it comes out into the world around us. That is satisfying and fulfilling very much to a Taurian person. And then the other note is let you help you shine. The only thing in your way is that obstinance and that demanding and commanding attitude. The code that they want from you is communion, connection, okay, community, that type of thing. Allowing it to flow. Allowing life to love you just because you're you, okay? So, and it says, what have you got to prove? You're victorious coming and going, and the proof will be in the pudding. It'll be in you. It'll be in your ease, your demeanor, the way you kind of saunter and move around. There isn't this plodding and mushing and moving forward like you're dragging a cart. You're not here to have to bear anyone else's burdens. You're not even here to have to bear your own. You are the bull. You are the ox. It is about the personage, that quality of life inside of you moving forward, okay? So it's knowing that's where the peg should be landed for the tent, is in the knowingness of your mind, your amness, knowing that you are worthy of being loved, that you are worthy of the reward, and that it shouldn't have conditions on it, okay? That unconditional love to you first and foremost does transform the world around you. So we're going to put that over here now, and let's get some cards. Oh, so this did jump out first. I love it because I calmed the spirals of life. They were already ready to spit out. Y'all thinking now, Tam, I know this is for you, because I was thinking about you and talking to my son about your deck when it came out, and look what it says. Blessed. And just so y'all know, oh, my mind. So she has an oracle deck on her site, enlightenedauntie.com. And can I remember the name right now? I don't know. I absolutely love it. Let me show it to y'all. It looks like this. So I had injury, y'all. I sometimes forget a few things, but that's also why the channel can use me so well. It's all vacant in here, and it can just blow in the messages in one way and out the other. But you might check out that. We use that deck here from time to time, and I love the accuracy and the ease with which it speaks. So anyways, friend, I want you to know you're blessed, but to all of you, you are blessed. Look at you in the vehicle of yourself, the magical mystery and the wonder. This is like the happy, happy card in its vessel, traveling and moving forward at what? The speed of delight, not the light, delight. Okay, Taurus, so let's rev up and get into your vessel, your whole self, not for burdens, other people's, yours, or otherwise. We scrap that out. Who did that? Big Papa. Big Papa did that for us. He said, we're not ordering and operating those systems anymore. We're getting in the center of ourselves. We are shining. We are allowing ourselves to be fully loved and embodying that love. And that puts you in the center of your happy, happy. It restores your spiritual DNA. So that I do want to start you out with some energy here. We have Black Tourmaline at the top. So it's talking about, this is a calling for a tower, okay? Some perspective, some clarity, and some shift and transformation. You know, because the bull is very earthy, very grounded, down to earth here, and wanting some of that level up. So let's send this vessel of yourself up into that cosmic realm for us here. I'm asking that. In the 22, ooh, seeing yourself coming and going. You're already doing it, Taurus. You got double energy going in. This is talking about healing the familial heart. We have rose quartz coming in to harmonize and synergize with labradorite. Now, labradorite for me, always the strongest message has to do with family, home, and harmony. It could be the roots from where you came from that became ruts, that became scars and mars, that penetrated cracks and crevices in the earth where there was debt, there was drought, there was poverty, maybe there was starvation of love, attention, time. Maybe someone extracted and drew from you your natural, buoyant, bubbly self, and you became hardened and cold and calculating, that type of thing. You became savvy as other people's agendas, that type of stuff going on. You hear what I'm saying? fine. But rose quartz is here all perky like, oh, hi! It's effervescent, like if you ever played in the waves in the ocean. When the waves crash, the little white fizz on top, it bubbles up and it gets your nose like you're in a giant, soda. I absolutely love it. But it's uplifting and it's effervescent and it's conjugating with the stars. It's really stimulating the stars. And which stars? The stars of your happiness here. You see, you're flying in that realm, the realm of what? Delight, which is dreams and desires fulfilled. That no longer this cracking, this quaking, this creaking. What the heck? I don't know. All that. Time Master. You can talk about that. But, ooh, sitting on the top is Peridot, coming into the wealth and the prosperity of the heart. The goldness glow, which has to do with wealth and prosperity. Washing away that poverty spirit, that feeling of like, they're saying being owed something. So that obligation has almost been like a backdraft and causing more fires in your life than necessary, like burning bridges, hot-headedness, explosiveness, temperamentalness, that type of thing. That's what your blessed card and rose quartz are sandwiching in here to swish it on out so that you can resonate in the full vibration of the Peridot, which is very much along the Leo heart. The radiant, the sun, the shine, the gleam, the glow, the goldness self, okay? Absolutely love that for you. So you're wanting to start in the middle, interestingly enough. You're talking about with your mind. So we have Cosmic Tarot coming in with the mind here. The Hangman, you're considering a few things, but you're considering how to prosper and how to expand because that's showing up as a card of Jupiter here around your mind, and know that Jupiter is in alignment with you there. Jupiter's in a favorable position right now just as well, but our attitude is the greatest favor we ever need. That's what you were teaching us here, Taurus. You're coming out in triples. Gemini came out in triples. Now, y'all, I've told Gemini to check y'all out. Y'all might need to check Gemini out. So the first triple coming out, this is going to crown your spread because you wanted to take what was in the middle and put it on top. 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, and Wheel of Fortune. You're talking about how do you overcome? How do you overcome this mountain of love? You have strong feelings, Taurus. You like, I got lots of feelings, lots of desires, lots of things I want fulfilled, and they're all kind of conjumbled up. I've put them in here, but these were half-hearted attempts, y'all. You can see that half-hearted attempts, shoulder slump. That's not true humility. Okay, hiding who you are is not humility, friends. Okay, sliding under the rug, shifting away, turning down the light. You got to burn the house up. No wonder you had all that fire going on. Cracks and crevices gone, remember? Okay, Labradorite is here to vibrate and bring in that new energy, which for you is coming as Peridot. So you might also check out the placements of your Leo, or maybe watch the Leo video this week, or all of them, dated or not, are all timeless. Okay, so you can roll on back and check out some other Leo reads. But for right now, this is really bringing in the first half of April. The initiation for right now is we're winding up the Lunar New Year to wrap up the old, to really tidy it up, to clean up, kind of like doing taxes. You wrap it up, and then all of a sudden you have this upliftment, this surge of energy, very much this blessed thing of like, whoo, glad to have that legal obligation done. That thing about family commitment, whatever else that was going on with community, because like kind of like 3 of Cups, so that now you can celebrate, but you're like, I'm in the fullness of these desires, and that's showing up as some chakra energy work going on right there. So I want to get a quick card to go with it. We're going to get the Airtate deck. Talk about this 3 of Cups and the chakra energy going on. We've got your will, your heart, and your emotions all communicating with each other, but it's not becoming clear as how to separate these out. There was an entanglement going on. Y'all, I can't even. What is this? Okay, 4, the order. Wash the eyes of your heart. You can check out the Pisces season read irregardless. Timeless, right? Prosperity is right here in front of your eyes. You don't need jealousy, envy, maybe a little bit of like catch in your soul of like, I want what they have, and not necessarily just saying you want theirs. It's that thing of like kind of getting impatient with yourself, and it's boxing yourself in a bit when you have... Y'all, what they're trying to say is what they have is fresh water and what you have is salt water. It doesn't even exist in the same environment. Salt water is something that nurtures and nourishes and takes care of itself, not something created from itself. This is life commingling with you is what is going on in this chakra love here. Let life fully flow. You ask what you're just telling on yourself. You're keeping it in the segments trying to compartmentalize, and love said no, all of you or none of you. Because love, the root and the fruit, it has to flow through to the branch, to the flower, to the point of connection in order to nurture, nourish, and flow there. Because the bee and all the pollination can happen, but if the sap, if that movement doesn't get to the area of need, then it's no fruit. Okay? Interesting. Let love flow. Okay. So now you're stepping over into the Wheel of Fortune. That's interesting because these other 3 cards go with that. Now, I absolutely love the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune to me is the entire zodiac, is the snapshot and the wholeness of you. As you can see, they're all on there. And we forget that to walk in our fortune, to be fortunate, to be happy, and come from a state of natural blessedness inside of ourselves without the conscious choosing the being of selves. And we get into the amness of who we are and allow it to focus and centralize and to come in, that we have that depth perception. That's when we bring in the 5D to the 4D, thus why they're called heaven on earth this week. And we can see clearly and taste and be satisfied here on earth. Now with that, the card that's really vibing and energizing with it is coming in as the Jack of Clubs, okay? Or this is more like the Prince and the Princess of Wands, okay? Or the Page of Knight. So it's really wanting you to focus in the center of your eye. Being in balance with your yes and your no. That's very much what's coming on. So it's like before, where a lot of things turned you off, maybe in yourself, but maybe also about other people. Like, not that you necessarily said out of your mouth, but those people are stupid. Those people are dumb. Why are they doing things like that? Don't they know better? That type of thing. It was really shortchanging you, and you were coming up short. Now, it seemed very superfluous, and it seemed very, kind of like accessories, like it went along with whatever was coming forth from you. But again, it was just accessories. We're trying to get to the core and the whole and the center of you, of your being, of your embodiment being, that getting into your body, which we will do in a minute with True Heart, okay? Getting into your embodiment has to do with you being in balance and knowing, owning your whole aura, which would make sense, you know, piggybacking on this labradorite over here. So again, they're wanting me to tell you, go back to Leo, go back to Leo. Okay, so that might be Leo from previous week, all right? Rolling back into some of the archives of what we have, which they are not ancient, dusty, nor old. I am still shocked at what is always waving forward from them, okay? So, and that'll get away the shadow of that voice. There was some ancient voice, and for someone here, it's showing up kind of like Confucius. That's interesting. Some outdated, outmoded wisdom, which really, it didn't suit you in the lane or the vein of operation of your midheaven, where you're going in your midheaven, okay? Hope that makes sense. So we have the Four of Swords coming on in, but it's time to go. This Four of Swords is saying change in environments, and you won't have to rest as much, okay? Quit clowning around. Get serious about things here. Get to it, and then go have fun. That's what's happening. It's not so much that you're putting it off. It's a bit of procrastination type energy going on. Holding out a little bit. Remember at the beginning when we were talking about in the channel part of saying, well, I'm going to do this 30-day challenge of like, you know, in 30 days, I'm going to see how fit I look, or how, you know, much my finances have transformed or whatever. That's conditions, okay? So those things have you so want, because it's totally unnecessary. As you can see, this is not a healing card. This is a grief. This is a groveling. This is your soul just like, and it's not whining in a bad way. It is kind of like letting you know, just like if your wheels are whining on your car, something is up with your brakes. Get the dust blown off. You might even need new brakes, okay? So put a stop to that. Not to the whining, a stop to holding out on yourself, okay? Unconditionalizing that love. That's what's reiterating in the Wheel of Fortune here. And that gives you the power up, the go button. And that very much resonates with your earthiness, okay? Because you already have a bunch of stature and weightiness to who you are, W-E-I-G-H-T, of like, boom, bringing the something, you know what I mean? That type of weight, that the W-A-I-T really will bog and slow it down quickly. So they're saying, just kind of keep moving, stay light, stay easy, and it's not always be on point on task. Fit play in there and have it like the cogs of a wheel. Work, play, because that's really how you get the wheel to turn. And then that will bring in, and I love it, do away with the season of winter, the Two of Cups. Because this is Chiron rearing his head right here. He's coming in through the navel. It gives you that truth all the way into you being born into the power of your own permission. That's like a rebirth for you. That cup of love. This is you in that duality. Remember the 22 up here? Look at you moving at the speed of light. Nobody says Taurus has to be slow and methodical and boggy and held down. No. That's why we come into the whole zodiac, the fullness of who we are. We have facets of each part of our placement. Even the empty housements. Hello. Even the empty houses are placements, y'all. And so it all works together in this beautiful composition, just like a piece of artwork that has balance and beauty and intrigue and fascination and is you. Okay, so that's what this is about here. And Chiron just says, I want you to remember that. And I wanted to touch on that because that's why there isn't all this fruit and all this other fug mug going on in here, saying the beauty of your amness is in your you-ness, your uniqueness. Okay, love? So you want to dive down to the heart and to the body. You like, let's get some earthy stuff up in here. Joy. Oh, I love that. The Ace of Discs coming on in. It's very much showing me like I Ching type energy going on. So some of you may want to check out some feng shui this year. Let me tell you, that north sector has been hard on some men, some women. Look, another tranny popping out. Let's see what's going on with your heart. You really want, okay, so we've kind of moved away. If y'all can see what's going on here, we're kind of delving into the past to deal with foundation. So you're really building this up under the Wheel of Fortune and under those cards of Arete that came on out to divulge like soul secrets, that type of thing going on. Oh, I love it, y'all. You know me. This tower is constructive. Look at this, True Heart Tarot. If you don't own a deck, get a deck. Does she know me? No. But if you know her, tell her Joy said hi. Anyways, look at this. Is constructive. When you get your eyes centered on the prize, which is you, your universe, your uniqueness, your amness, it all comes together. Spirit can step in, help. That's love. That's that plasma wave coming in to build and to construct and to bring you into the center of who you are. Because when we're in the center of who we are, it removes all friction. Therefore, there is no maleficness. You could almost say there is no beneficence that benefits. So, okay. So anyways, because every moment is fresh and new. Okay. So when you're going into like a scavenger hunt, it takes this clue to get to the next clue. So sometimes what we see is beneficial. We also kind of start trying to coerce it and work it and maybe manipulate it a little bit instead of keeping the spark of creativity, like very much coming along the high heart of youthfulness. Okay. Which is pink tourmaline up under that peridot, which that is the tower that they're wanting to bring in. That high heart, high hopes of thinking that how much life loves you, wanting to see with that flavor, what that nuance that life loves specifically about you. I love that. And so that begins to power in the Six of Discs. It's almost like twinning with yourself, your future self, your divine self. Which is interesting because then I would say go on to, who was it? Give me a second to check. Well, that's y'all. Twin it with yourself because it's talking about that double victory. Okay, then let's repeat it. I am victorious, coming and going, Taurus. Say it with me. I am victorious, coming and going. All right, so this is you, past, present, future, all getting on the same page. So you're wanting to step in eternity. That's the tower. You're wanting to be whole-brained, whole-mindedness. Whole brain is the polarity, okay, having to do with the action, the potential, being able to live in your truth versus your reality, the truth supplanting reality, our earthiness of how we bumped and hit our head and came from somebody else's body and their teachings and yada, yada. But getting into this truth of the self, the truth of your Wheel of Fortune, right, into the full eye of God, the knowing thyself, and then moving forward from there to be in the fruitfulness of that, the balance of that. When you do, you become spherical, okay, and your mind becomes whole, unconscious, subconscious, and the conscious mind operating as one, so that there aren't the barriers between it of thinking that we know what we know. No, we don't. When we become whole and it all comes together, that is a whole different world we're talking about there. And that allows you to come free from this bondage of obligation that you were living in. That sucks, y'all, because this is Eight of Swords. The obligation of your mind of being stuck in that entrapment. of all these things that you owed that you thought you had to clear from your familial line. Ooh, yo, and that touched all up in your heart because that was really controlling your source and resource of your empowerment and your energy. Okay, your Wheel of Fortune saying so. But you want to pick another card here. Let's see, who is that? Strength. Put it on or take it off. Either way, you are strong. You are strong. Know thyself. And in knowing thyself, we don't have to bully or bustle or move around like that. We're actually light. Remember? That's this. Wait. Wee! That's you when you're happy. Happy. You like delight. Delight. Life loves me. Life loves me. We're going to get just a little titch of Mary L here. I'm just going to get one card because Erte really stepped in to be like the soul secret confirmation for you. So let's give me a card here for Taurus. Oh, thank you. I see you. King of the swords. I know they're swords, y'all, but swords, the spirit words. Talk lovely, kind, good to yourself. Okay? That's how you remove these bondages and these obligations. These bondages that you have were those ruts, those roads, that poverty, that impoverishment that was coming over here from Labrador, from your home, either your marital home or your birth home or your work home. I don't know which place that you were tied to, but you can see it being stuck in the ground, trying to rise up out of there. That's what this King of Swords, there is word written all over him. Feathers of the mind, words of the spirit, declaring over yourself words of power and might. And not in reaction to anyone or anything else. Remember, Wheel of Fortune's about knowing you. Knowing the things about life is easy and light. I am delightful. Let me see. I am victorious, coming and going. That's why we are bringing affirmations to this channel to help you step into your big, bold, bright, beautiful self as easily and simply as possible. Like Big Papa, you know, I love him. Bringing us the shortcut that does not shortchange. He has double vote, double power, and he has washed away that old era of earth of anything remaining that was unnecessary. You know, like those attachments, remember those, what were they talking about? Accessories of this, that old suchy much going on over here that just no. And he's like, you don't have to KNOW anymore. You trust, you love, you are divine, you are connected to whom? Yourself. You in connection with yourself, you in communion with yourself, you're communing with life, and the power of life is all flowing in, through, and around you. It is obvious, Taurus, because you are fine like wine. Now, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below. Hop on this joy train. Make it more beautiful because you are here. Share this with a friend. Consider getting a friend to subscribe. Maybe sometimes when you have a favorite video, post it on your Facebook page and ask people to tune on in. Let's get the momentum up at this place so we can joy up our world, glow up our world to make it easier, better, brighter on all of us, and definitely more beautiful. Like, share, comment, compliment yourself down below. I love you all. Talk to you real soon. Bye. Click.